How I ran my best live launch yet and accidentally built a top 1% school community on Skool in under 30 days. And also what I will never do again. Who am I? I'm Katya McEwen. I am intuitive business coach. I have a very successful membership, Oracle Cards Magic. We have over 170 members right now. Of course, it fluctuates. This particular membership is off Skool right now. I am very impatiently waiting until tiers will come up so I can move my main membership on Skool as well. I also have a mini membership that I opened on Skool on May 27th, which has 135 members. And that is Oracle Studio, Identity Shifting Studio. Definitely need to rename it. It's not very clear, and I'm working on that. And I recently ran one of my most successful launches. For the very first time, I ran it on Skool. I've done this type of launch and I actually teach this type of launch, which is a hybrid between challenge and workshop. It's quite long launch. It's not like a 3 days and you're done and you close and there is a lot of scarcity. That's not how I run them. And I will show you what the timelines and everything else. So I just finished it and we had the most successful launch. I did a couple of posts inside Schoolers community. I will include them in the description of this video so you can find them, you can read them if you already have Skool community. If you don't, let me know and I'll just copy and paste it and I will give it to you. If you want it, if you're interested in having that kind of two debriefs and posts that I posted on Skool, just let me know, as I said in the comments here under this video, and I will just give you a Google Doc with all of the copies of my posts unedited. And so yes, how did I accidentally became 1% of the top community builders on Skool? And also will be answering a lot of questions because when I posted those debrief and also a couple of other things and another post, I got a lot of really, really good questions. So thank you for those questions. I will be answering most of them here. Some of them I answered right on a post, but I will be answering most of them here as well. One of the questions I got from Evelyn, thank you so much for asking that. People ask me, and you are not the only one, but Evelyn actually brought it to my attention again. So I really wanted to address this. So do I track anything else or just Skool rank? Oh, I do. And as a matter of fact, the Skool rank, I was just looking at it just to understand where my community stands when I opened my mini membership on May 27th. So I was just trying to see where my community stands. In fact, I had no idea what star means. I had no idea that top 30 communities means that you 1% of the um, 1% of the top community builders. I had no idea even when I was running this live launch. That's how much I don't know about Skool yet. And I came to Skool because of Evelyn Weiss, of my mentor. I joined her community when she ran the very first Skool games. However, I did not like it at the beginning, or should I say, I did not give it enough time. So I really want to talk about in this video, what are the real KPIs from this, my latest launch? What is my profit revenue? I'll share all of that with you. What was I tracking during my first days of my free Skool community that is now in top 1% of communities on Skool? And what am I planning to track now going forward? What type of strategic pivots did I do throughout the launch? Some subconscious insight, some mindset things that happen, and what nearly crushed my launch. And it didn't, and I'll explain why. So all of that I'm going to be covering in this video. And pardon that I do not have my face on. I'm still kind of in the real active time of my community and post launch and everything else. I still even done downsell yet, which I will be doing soon. So why Skool? Some people ask me, why did you do this launch on Skool and why now? Well, first of all, Facebook is just sucks right now. And my last launch on Facebook, when I was doing it, it limited me and I couldn't even comment on my own post as admin in my own group. So that definitely limited engagement, that definitely limited the whole mood of the adventure that I done it last time, which was January. Well, no, it wasn't January, it was after that. So every time I run it on Facebook, it would limit me in some way, and I had to come up with alternative ways. I had to make sure I have my business profile on there. I had to make sure my husband was on there, so if anything I can go and I can comment as him. Like, that was just a disaster and a lot of unnecessary work. And in general, Facebook just sucks right now when it comes to the free communities. It doesn't show you stuff. It feels like I'm shouting in the void, really. So Skool makes it super easy, not only to run community, but create it, to upload the videos, to do the live videos now, and so on and so forth. I'm not going to go into many details. If you're watching it, you probably already on Skool, you probably already either thinking about building Skool community or maybe already have Skool community and thinking of how you can scale it. So I will be migrating my main membership here, as I said, impatiently waiting. And I also wanted my people to experience the magic of Skool before tiers open as well. So my transition to Skool will be much more smoother. Now, I will still give them at least a year for this migration. However, it definitely my plan to move it strategically, but also making sure that everyone understands how it works. We all know people don't like change, and this is one of the things that I will be watching. How am I doing it? I will probably take at least a year to migrate it completely, so the new members will be on new platform and older ones will be on not older, but existing ones will be on the older platform, right? So you will notice throughout this presentation me as the different characters, because I started right before I started my final emails, right? So after the adventure was done, I started Season of the Witch, because that is, like, I think I started it on October 4th and adventure finished on October 6th. So that image on the left, this is what it was from Hocus Pocus, kind of me, my AI twin, depicting this Hocus Pocus movie. And I started it just to do for fun. But then I'll tell you why strategically I moved it, and I created a lot of images, and every email was a storytelling. And that included either a good witch or bad witch, right? So, and it was so much fun to do. So you'll see these images here. That's why you're seeing them. Okay, so let's look at the timeline. So normally I start my adventure, and so it starts on Monday. I open group on Saturday, and just to welcome everyone, I also let my existing member in the pop-up group on the Facebook. Like, this is how I done it before earlier, so people not going into the empty group. And it will last 10 days in total. So that would be my normal launch. And every day will have an element of the live support or live training or interviews with my existing members. So there is a lot involved. And I have to say, for those people who are trying to do it without with minimum effort, this is not a style of the launch for you. Now, this time, because I knew that this community where I will be running adventure will be turning into my free community and eventually probably freemium for my inside Skool, I wanted to do something different. And actually, Evelyn was the one who suggested that I do 12 days pre-launch where I can do something different. And I decided that I want to do something similar to what she done in the past. She did 24 gifts in 24 hours, but I decided to do it as a 12 days of magic. I also known for 12 days of magic. I run it between Christmas, after Christmas and past New Year's. I normally do 12 days of magic emails. So people already know I do that. So it kind of was on brand. So I created all of those assets, and a lot of them were related to what was happening in adventure. So what happened, people were, first of all, they were just amazed of what I was given for free. And those gifts also prepared them for what was happening during adventure. So we did not use all of the gifts, all 12 during the adventure, but there was a certain ones that we did. What else I done was every gift, I also wrote a story with I kind of weave a personal story into this gift. So this way it made it personal. People were getting to know me. The ones who came from Facebook ads, completely cold audience, they were getting to know me better. My existing members were getting to know me even better because a lot of stories that I weave in those everyday gift post, they did not know that about me, and they loved it. There was a lot of stories that were very relatable. For example, I provided the tracker for courses and where people can track what they buy and also track their progress. And I told a relatable story how I purchased, same thing twice, and it happened to me many times, right? So, and a lot of people relate to that. So I created this buzz even before we started adventure, and I was very, very generous with my gifts on purpose. And thank you, Evelyn, for recommending to do something like this. Was very, very successful and absolutely great strategy, because I knew that this community is going to become my free community. So I started that on September 15th, the 12 days of magic. So 12 days of pre-launch from September 15th to 27th. I also was on vacation from 16th to 24th. So I prepared all of this content, and thanks God for Skool, it's so easy. Even so, we cannot pre-schedule things on a Skool. It is so, so easy for me. I actually created the classroom already, and I had all of my posts there, and they were all in draft. And then every day, all I had to do is just turn them from draft to published, and then copy and paste exactly the same what I already had there and create the post. So that was super easy. As I said, I was on vacation on 16th. I was traveling all day. I was flying half of the day, and then on the way back to 23rd. So it only took me about an hour to make a post, plus engage on this post when people were asking or thanking me, and let more people members in the community as well. Okay. So that created tons of great engagement, and also made it super easy for me to do this vacation. Now, somebody asked me, and I think I will have question at the end, why did I do it during the vacation? Well, I actually planned it right after the vacation because I would be back and everything else was prepared already. But because this vacation was booked a long time ago. However, this 12 days pre-launch, I did not plan ahead of time, right? So, and it works so well on Skool. It worked really, really well. And I'm so grateful that I was doing it on Skool. September 29th. So we had there 28th and 28th, which was Sunday, was a little bit of a break there. And then we started adventure on 29th. Then, as I said, I run it for 10 days. It finished on October 6th. The way I do my adventure, I do training on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday on purpose, straight days. And they are all live training. I've done them as a YouTube live. I also kept them public until adventure was over, and then I turned them into unlisted. And I've done those very strategically. I turn it into performance a little bit. I love being live. I love presenting, and I do a lot of great things in there. But I engage a lot with my audience. They're very long. They about 2.5. The first day was 3 hours because of all the housekeeping that we needed to talk about, but people stay. Like, I have people stay from the beginning to end. I do card readings at the end. It's totally optional, but it's something that my audience absolutely loves. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, live training, very specific ones. They also include home play. I don't call it homework. And they needed to be doing home play because of the way they get the prizes. I go all in when I do this adventure. This time I had 60 prizes. So pretty much actually everyone who submitted for grand prize received the prize. Okay, so we had more prizes than we had people who submitted for the grand prize, for not for the grand prize, for all of their prizes, right? So for grand prizes and all of the other stuff. So I also do, so that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, on Thursday, I do what I used to call get shit done sessions, and I also Q&A. People get on Zoom with me, they get to know me. We run for about 90 minutes. I answer all of the questions. We do a lot of things there. Then on Friday, we had 2 calls with 2 different members who came in, just wanted to share their experiences inside Oracle Cards Magic. I used to bring a guest expert as well. This time I couldn't bring the guest, just didn't work out in schedule. So I just done 2 Q&A with members, and they were sharing their stories. They were talking about their decks that they were creating, because it's all about creating, designing, printing, and selling Oracle, spiritually meaningful Oracle card decks. So on Saturday, we had another finisher's call, and I'll talk about why I called it finisher's call in a moment here. So on Saturday, we had another finisher's call, and that one was the same as it was on Thursday, except at different times, so more people can join from different time zones. And then on Sunday, I surprised everyone. So in the middle there, I can't remember what day, I said there will be surprise prize that I'm going to do live draw on Sunday. I've done it on Sunday. I also build in Sunday's rest for myself and catching up, and for people as well. And then Monday, we have secret call. I call it Secret Keepers. It's my VIP option, all access, so people can upgrade to that. And I do secret call on Monday in the morning, and then, or I done it at 1 o'clock this time. And then at night, I had my live closing ceremony where I was doing all of the prizes drawing. Now on Sunday, what I've done on Sunday, actually Jen recommended, my bestie, to do that. She recommended to do the Q&A as well. So I've done the prize drawing, but I done Q&A because I had a lot of questions. So I addressed all of the questions and talk a little bit more about the membership. And then I done the surprise draw. And then Monday, October 6th, we done the final draw, and we closed the adventure. All of the training were taken away that night, and they were moved into the vault, right? Inside of membership and inside of Skool community as well. They were locked. They were no longer published. So if people wanted to go through that, they needed to join the membership. On October 8th, I was a speaker at AI Driven Business Summit. So I kept cart open 1 day longer. Now, this was not really done strategically when I was speaking. Well, when I was speaking, I did wanted to speak on the last day, on that day specifically. But when Brenda invited me to AI Summit, I already had all of my adventure planned. However, I kept the cart open 1 day longer because I was a speaker to give people just one more day. Normally, I would close the cart on Thursday night. This time I kept it until Friday night, and it worked really well. So the reason I'm giving you all these details is because a lot of people will give you this timeline of you only do 3 days, you then close the cart 2 days after, you keep it super short, otherwise people will change their minds, right? So, and that's not necessarily true. You need to know your audience, you need to know and understand what is happening. Okay, on October 6th, Jen, my business bestie, Jen Hillmeyer's copywriter, offered the bonus. I'll explain why there, what happened, and why I'm so grateful. She offered the bonus because after we closed the door on October 6th, we had a couple of people joining only, and I was spiraling a little bit. Okay, so I'll talk about that in a moment here. Okay, so she actually helped me to work to process few things and focus on what was going really, really well and what the community I was building. And then she offered the copywriting bonus that was for all the new members who were coming. She was giving them 30 minutes of the call extra, call for copywriting. And then on October 9th, I actually introduced the AI clone bonus, which worked really, really well because I already was showing my AI portraits as the witches, a season of the witch. So that worked really, really well. There was so much excitement, and I had more people joining as well. So those are the two extra bonuses. I did not plan them ahead. Oh, on October 15th, that is where it was 1 month of me opening the community from September 15th to October 15th. We had 1128 members, and then I got my top 1% badge a couple of days before, but I can't remember exactly date, so I left it on October 15th. Now, Jen, as I said, saved the day because when on October 6th, after closing ceremony, we had so little people join in. And we had some challenges with my card, not on Skool. I wish it was on Skool, so everything would be so much smoother and less friction for people to join as well. But my platform is on WordPress, and I use different plugins, and we had some issue with plugins. I did not notice immediately what was happening. Some members notified me. So that was happening in the background, but it did not affect the whole adventure and launch because I can definitely pass through those technical things, right? So it's affected for some people not joining at the end, and I think it was only a couple of people. But other than that, people notified me, the ones who wanted to join, that they couldn't, and they joined after that. And that day when I was spiraling, and I call it spiraling for sure, because I was focusing on luck and I really forgot why and how I do the things. And I'll talk about that in a moment. So here is Jen as a good witch, and she saved the day. She definitely helped me to redirect. So one of the biggest insights that I did differently this time that actually Skool allowed me to do so much easier was analyzing all onboarding answers. I started my Facebook ads 6 weeks ahead of time. Yes, some people say it's too early. That's what I like to do. I like to do 6 weeks ahead of time. And I also started getting people joining Skool community and answering the questions. My mistake was I forgot to ask about their email, and I opened this community as a hobby plan and not pro plan. That's another mistake. I'll talk about that in a moment. However, it doesn't matter which plan you have. You can easily export all of the members who joined and their answers. So even so, I did not have their email, I had their answers. And what I've done, I used AI and I plugged in all of these answers, and I wanted to know percentage wise to analyze for me who is joining based on the questions and answers. But most importantly for me was one of the questions I had: what is your biggest challenge when it comes to designing your own Oracle deck? So it doesn't, like, it's whatever it is that you do, and you can ask them what is their biggest challenge. And then some of the questions was, what are they looking forward to? And I gave them a few options. during the adventure. And the first question was, I can't remember. Our first question was, how do they, like, who they are, right? So I had some answers like, you can have coaches. And for me, it was very specifically product designers or soulful entrepreneurs or psychics and mediums. So there were card readers. So there was different options for me. So what I noticed, and this was very, very important, and this is why I pivoted huge in this one. And I recommend to do something similar because that worked really, really well. It created a culture of finishing because so many people join and never finish. And actually, what they said that actually, when I analyze it, more than 40% of people who joined, they actually start but never finish. And that's what they indicated. When I seen that, I was looking at it and I was thinking, okay, what can I do that I can help them to complete? Because when they complete, they will believe it's possible. And then my promise during the adventure is that they actually will design 25 cards. And I made it harder this time than in my previous ones. In previous ones, it was just images. But this time, I actually asked them to design from start to finish, from concept, from idea, then also complete layout, 25 cards minimum. And when they said they cannot finish, I created something that I think that everyone should do in something similar. I called it Finishers Club. This is how it was born. My promise that they will actually finish. I also reminded them every day. If you follow my exact process, if you use an AI tools that I gave you, I gave them custom GPTs, some other stuff as well. Not I gave them some other tools, apps, and everything else that I designed. And I was reminding them, if you follow step by step, you will finish it, right? So because it was 7 days really working, and there is a couple of other, but 10 days altogether. And they will earn a grand prize. And the grand prize this time, for the very first time I've done, is the grand prize. They will be eligible to be in a draw for 1 year membership, absolutely free. And people wanted to finish. There was 31 or 32 members. I have to look it up, but I think it's 31 finally that completed during the adventure. There was more that finished after, but 31 that completed during the adventure. 31 qualified for the grand prize. For the grand prize, they also had to do other things, not just finish the adventure, not just finish their 25 cards. They also needed to participate and share their takeaways, which is important because you can use those screenshots for your next time. And I have so much of proof of people finishing, of people getting breakthroughs every day, and all of their takeaways. So that was a part of their commitment, what they needed to do. And it was hard. I did not make it easy. And I told them that if you want to win a grand prize, I am going to make you play hard. I don't call it, I said, we're going to play hard, but you can finish it. And trust me, you will be able to finish it. And I was their biggest cheerleader. I was there all the time. I made sure that I cleared my schedule. I spent literally almost 24/7 now. I was sleeping as well, but I spent most of the time in that community and helping them to finish those cards and really showing up for them, either on the calls or in comments or boss or everywhere, right? So again, it takes a lot of energy. And one of the things that a lot of entrepreneurs underestimate is how much energy it takes and how you need to manage your energy, your mindset, and who are you being when you're delivering. That is your identity. Who are you being as you delivering it, right? So like I mentioned, I was being in a lack mindset for just about half of day or a few hours until I reached out for help and shared it with my bestie, and she helped me to work, get it, get through that little hurdle. Okay. Here is some of the community growth metrics that a lot of people ask me. So we had 1128 in less than 30 days. We have, I think we have close to that right now because some people left, some people, uh, I can quickly check. We have a little bit more, I think, but we are at 0% churn rate. I know that for sure. That is the KPIs that I keep track of. I keep track of what is the engagement, how much people are engaging, what is their daily activities. So we had at the peak, we had 2,200 of daily activities. During the adventure, we had approximately 700 active participants. Right now, we have 65% are active, which is incredible. And the progression was from 1740 when we started to 75 to 27 yesterday, 28 today. So, and that's happens as I am recording this right now. And it took me less than 30 days to earn 1% community builder badge. And that badge, as much as it is, wasn't my goal at all. Right now, we actually invested as a community to keep it. And I did bring my community with me. I did bring them an adventure with me. I did bring them an adventure with me to earn the fire. I did bring them because I created the new training, a mini training for people who have fire, and it helps everyone on Skool because it's not, they don't need to be only engaged in my community, but it's in any communities, right? So I brought that in, and now people invested in that. Now people commenting. I actually didn't even notice that I had a star. One of my members told me that as I was doing coaching calls, and she said, Katya, you have a star. So we did celebrated it. Next day we lost it, and then we got it again. We laughed about it. But as my community as a whole invested to stay as a top one community. And that's incredible. That's absolutely incredible. So before I do any kind of launches, I set two set of goals, and they are set of goals, impact and income goals. So I actually sit down, I set two set of goals, and I'm going to show you what I shared with my team. I do have a team, two team members who work for me about anywhere between 4 hours. One is 4 hours a month, and another one is 6 hours, or sometimes 8 hours a month. But this time, I decided I wanted to run this launch by myself because it was first time on Skool, and I wanted to know all ins and outs so I can actually teach them for the next time. This was a presentation that I've done a few days before adventure started. Well, community already was opened, and you'll see here. But I've done, so my adventure called Fortune Teller's Adventure into Oracle Cards Design. And this is how I set my goals. So these were my impact goals. 700 joining adventure was good, 888 better, and 1111 best. I wanted on a day when we start adventure in 1111. We did not have 1111. We had over 1,000, but we did not hit that best goal, but we definitely hit it by the end of the adventure. So that were my triple tier impact goals for. And here I broke them down a little bit more of how many members do I want to join. So this one was how many people will join my adventure. And here it was how many I wanted monthly memberships. I wanted to look at minimum 55, best 111 or more, and at least 10 annual members. Okay. You'll see how I did in a moment here, but I wanted to show you this first because that was presented before. Okay, and this was my income goals. The best was 8650, and I wanted, and that included 10 people in annual. My annual is $390. So that's where I was at the beginning, and this is how I set my goals. I also wanted to fill two VIP spots, and my regular VIP spots are 1111, and adventure offer was 777 for my own VIP. But I also have a joint VIP with my bestie Jen, copywriter, and our joint was special at 11:11. So, which we did sold out of 2 spots, which I'm going to show you in a moment. So let's go back here. So this, we're going to be here. Now, before the adventure, besides that I set those goals that you just seen, I also focus on one thing and one thing only. My focus is to help as many participants as possible who joins to finish and to do what I promise that they will do. My focus is on serving my community and my participants. It's always centered on the actual results that I promised. I always talk about them. I always tell them that it is possible. I am their biggest cheerleader. I show up daily with an absolutely incredible fire energy. I am very present. I show them real support. We have a lot of play in there. Playfulness is my middle name. It's not selling. I am guiding them. I am holding them. I am encouraging them. I do mention my membership on a second day. Normally, I actually forgot this time. I mentioned it on the third day, not intentionally, but we had so much fun on a call. I totally forgot to do that. And Finishers Club was such an amazing addition that I actually renamed some of the calls inside my membership, my main membership, into the finisher calls. And it's just to keep this mindset that it's about implementation, it's about finishing what you came here to do. Okay. Because it's important that we bring them to finish line based on the commitment that they made to themselves, because that builds their self-trust. And you had to see how many participants mentioned that they never thought that they would finish this. It was hard, but they were so proud that they actually committed and they finished it. Another thing I forgot to mention, on the first day of the adventure, I asked them to set intention, and I asked them to make a decision that they will be in the finishers club. And we had a lot of fun with that. And yes, and a lot of them did finish. Okay. My focus will always be on serving my people, building really vibrant, supportive, and safe communities where everyone feels valued and seen and heard, keeping my promises of what I promised during the adventure or inside my membership, and creating transformative spaces. And that is what I'm focusing on. The income comes after. Absolutely, I would like to earn the income. So this is where we finished. Remember this here. So this one was my best, right? So this is what I wanted as best, 86.50. This is, 86, sorry. We finished at 85.80. I don't know. That's the wrong slide. We actually finished 70 less. So it's actually, oh yeah, that's right. That's correct slide. 86.50 was my income goal. And I came with 85.80, which was 70 short, which is absolutely phenomenal. It was one of the best launch we done. And I'm super proud of how we deliver it and what we done here. Okay. This felt expensive, as you've seen here. There was a different layers. I always set it up with the tiers, good, better, best, or good, better, great, whatever way you want to do it. Here's your full breakdown. I know we're already in 40 minutes and I still want to answer more questions here. So here's a full breakdown. So monthly membership, I had 20 new monthly at 47. It's 940 new additional MRR. Monthly recurring revenue, I had 11 annual members, which is one more than was my intention. I definitely had much less monthly members. However, the income worked out, and it's because of two VIPs, right? So we had 2 VIP spots sold that only had 2 because of capacity. I did not offer more than that. One-time purchases in free community was $396. New members in my mini membership, I had 8 annual, 4 monthly, which is $352 annual additional revenue and $24 monthly additional revenue as well. In the bumps and funnels, and that is through the summit, I had $356 in sales as well. So total was 85.80. So we missed my best goal by 70, and it's totally okay. At least 1,000 came from people finding me in AI driven business summit. I actually will give you exact number a little bit later. Okay, here's a profit snapshot, because you can talk about revenue, but it's important to look at the profit. And this one is not including, of course, my daily operations, but it's only included what happened during, like, how much I spent on ads, and also my portion of split for the two joint VAPs. So the revenue was 85.80. Facebook ads were 14.60, and split for, there was, because of the split, two VAPs, right? So we're doing 50-50. Okay. And profit was that. So after splitting the VAP cost, that 6,000 and just a little over $6,000. I've done it on my own. However, I haven't done it on my own. I done it solo on Skool on purpose, like I already mentioned, because I wanted to know exactly what is happening and how was everything happening. But I really did not do it on my own, because I have incredible circle of people who support me, starting with my incredible mentor, Evelyn. Thank you for everything that you've done. And I'm so grateful meeting you 3 years ago. Jen, who is my business bestie, we meet weekly to work together. We actually meet twice weekly now. We meet once a week when we work together. It's our accountability calls. We just do a lot of work. We just set timer, and then we discuss different things. And we also meet for YouTube strategy as well, which we are focusing on YouTube in 2026. So we have another call. But it's incredible when you have the right support and the right community. My husband, who's been such a great support during the launch, because during the launches I really disappear, and he's done everything at home, and he supports me throughout the year as well, which is incredible. So that is my, your environment is so important. My members inside both of the memberships, and my mini and my main membership, they are incredible support as well. Thank you very much for coming in and showing up on those calls and talking about the community, talking about the membership, sharing what you created. I don't force them to do that. I always just ask if anyone wants to join us, what time is the best for you. They tell me, and then they join for those calls. I never know who will show up. They just tell me. Sometimes I know approximately, but it's incredible to see them showing up like that and supporting me. So thank you so much. Now, I want to talk about other KPIs, and this to answer Evelyn's question and other people. My lifetime value right now, that is what's showing on my Stripe. I do have some income coming from PayPal as well, but it's much less. It's really significantly less. Most of it, 80%, or probably 90% is coming from, 85% coming from Stripe. And my lifetime value, you see the snapshot right there, and it's at $830 right now and 46 cents. I also track the churn rate. And even so, in Skool right now, our churn rate is 0. I'm going to show it in a moment. If you're looking at my churn rate on Stripe, it's about 4.76%, which is annual memberships help a lot, right? So because you have your people longer with you. So that's another strategy that I learned from Evelyn. My monthly membership is $47, but my annual is $390. So they get significant discount, but I also give them bonuses on top of that as well. So they get a lot of benefits to be an annual member. And what we do, designing, printing, and selling cards, is yes, we can design 24/5 cards in 7 days, But then we need to look at the printing or digitally publishing, and then we need to sell it. And it takes more than 1 month or 90 days. And I'm very, very open about that during my adventures. I talk about the whole process. I talk about what it takes and so on and so forth. So that's my churn rate here. And then lead generation ads, because some people were asking me, so what type of ads I was running. Well, remember I said that I made a mistake and opened again a little bit of luck mindset there. I opened the hobby community, which is $9 a month versus 99. However, in the hobby community, there is a few things that you cannot do. You cannot create automatic zaps, a lot of manual works there. And also you cannot run ads directly through Skool API into this particular Skool community. However, because I learned so much from Evelyn, lead generation ads, which is form in a form of the form in a form in a form of the format, so lead form ads work really, really well for me. So I was running lead form ads at 51 cents per lead, and we spent 14.60. That's together for all of the ads for Fortune Teller Adventure, and I'll show you a screenshot in a moment. And also I had, for the same period of time, I counted how many were lead generated to my freebie, which converts at 42 cents per lead. Even now, when I am redirecting them out of Meta into Skool, I still optimize them at 42 cents per lead. So this is where I spent 155.64. That's already included in 1460 number. Okay. The 12 days of magic really primed communities through my email as well, because I created a lot of engagement. I was sending email daily, and I would say, this is a gift. There is a gift. I would explain what the gift is, and they needed to go into community and get the gift. So this way, how I brought more members inside community as well. One thing that I noticed, that only 50% of people who from Facebook lead joined Skool community. And I did not realize at that time, or didn't think about it. I knew about it, but I did not think about it, that I could just upload those leads and do the invitation as a bulk upload and upload inside Skool. I didn't really think about that at that time. Okay. And the next one is, so what happened with the cart? I already mentioned that it's just stopped working right after launch open. I did test it. Everything was working when it started, but I did not notice it for 48 hours. I did almost spiral it into lack mindset. Well, I did spiral into lack mindset and really not just spiraled into the lack mindset, but I wasn't really showing up as a version of myself in those few hours, right? So who I needed to be for this adventure. So those few hours, I definitely showed up as the old version of myself. And Jen Hill Myers saved the vibe and generously offered the surprise bonus and incredible emotional support. And that's why it's so, so important. AI driven business summit. I missed the business here. Brenda, again, I will put the link in the description of this video so you can see that. So Brenda was incredible. Her AI driven business summit is absolutely incredible. You need to participate. You need to be in her community. I did open cart for 3 days after my talk on purpose. Normally it would have been like 1.5, but it was 3 days. And total amount, I said over 1,000 last in the previous slides. It actually was $1,116 in extra sales came through. And that's included new community in my mini membership. I had 8 new members annually at $44. And I had 3 new members at, I had 4 new members at $6 because that is my mini membership. This is all actually telling me that if my main membership was on Skool, I would have more members join in. I also had one member join my main membership at annual, and I had one who joined at 47, and I can track them back to summit. Okay, so those are the ones that I know. And card strategy definitely perfectly aligned with visibility bump, but it wasn't really intentional. It was a great synchronicity. Okay, definitely was great synchronicity. So keeping the fire now after lunch, I learned that from my previous launches that it's so, so important that you keep the momentum going. You want to rest, and I totally get it. And I did give myself a good sleep and a little bit few extra hours outside. But it's so important to keep momentum going once the initial excitement fades, right? So, because a lot of times it feels like almost like emotional hangover after so much excitement was built, even when people come into your membership, and then it's very different from the live launch, and then inside your membership you go into kind of into your routine. So what I've done, I organized a networking event, and I probably should have scheduled it one day later, a couple of days later, but because I never had so many people joining last day before, I kind of like, okay, if there is a couple of people, I'm okay. But we had a lot who joined last day. Then I will be scheduling another one actually this week. And Friday, we're going to have another networking event. It's literally social networking. We're just introducing each other and people getting to know each other. We already have people who are building collaborations, and it's just so beautiful to see. So that momentum is important. So I did schedule extra things inside my community, inside my main membership, including the workshop, a 3-part workshop this coming up weekend. And then I gave them enough time to kind of get to know where everything is. And then November 2nd, we're starting a 21-day sprint where we will be working diligently on their project, and I will be cheering them every day. And it will be very structured, but it's not going to be big, massive performance like during the adventure. It's not going to be 2-3 hours calls. It's going to be 15-20 minutes is our live call or pre-recorded. I will probably do mixture of both, and then just helping them in the community if they have any questions, pointing them out to resources and everything else, and also making sure that they are joining those finishers calls, joining the Q&A where I can help them on call live as well. So that is going to continue the momentum of members who came and joined so they can actually finish the things. I also already scheduled, well, I don't have the date, the summit that I will be doing on Skool, Oracle Cards Summit in 2026, end of January. And that is incredibly important. Another thing that I noticed this time, I paid extra attention to what is it that people asking me and what is it they want and what is they getting excited about. It's important that we build in community based on what is it they get excited about. I noticed that people started asking, how do they get the flame, right? So besides their name. And I did not have the flame actually at that when adventure started. And I was very diligent, and I actually shared with them. I said, hey, I have like 4 days or 5 days until I get my flame. And some people were pitching in and talking about that. And a lot of people were asking, well, but how do you get it? And so all of that created that excitement. And we created new clubs. So we have Finishers Club, and now we have a Fire Holders Club. And anyone with a fire holder, no matter, that you can earn it from any community, if they can participate in extra training. So I do have now scheduled extra training. So in my free community, I have only 2 deliverables that I promise. One is a monthly Q&A that I answer, and it's broadcasted into the community. And second one, additional mini training only for fire holders. And that actually encourages people to get into the fire holders club as well. And once you in a fire holder club, you're always there. I'm not going to remove them from there, but it's something extra because that's what my community wanted. And that worked out really well. And they will decide what kind of mini training I will be doing. It's not going to be again 2-3 hour training. It will be something very focused something very Oracle cards based. And so, for example, I also will do some paid workshops inside community. I'm going to be doing one on November 11th about how to read Oracle cards without the guidebook. So teaching people how to actually read the cards. Yes. So Fireholders Club was born with a live mini training. Also, my members during the networking calls that I did inside main membership, they said that they would like to have some peer-led networking calls because they really loved it, but they also recognize that I will not have capacity, right? So, and they did not want me to kind of organize those ones. And this is how we decided that we will be running the peer-led networking calls in a free community. And people will be, when I say only available to paid members, it means they can run. Everybody can participate, but the people who are paid members of the membership will be able to run this peer-led networking calls, and they could be different topics and will evolve it with time. And the biggest thing is I don't need to be involved. They just wanted to know how to organize them. They ask me question, I'll help them to go through that, and they can create those great pods inside the community, which enrich this community even more. Okay. So they can apply to host and facilitate and lead different themes. In November, we're doing one that will be all about the gratitude. So it will be the circle of thanks and gratitude because of the Thanksgiving, US American Thanksgiving in November. So that will be there as well. So I'm really paying close attention to what my members want. Now, I had a lot of questions, so I'm going to go through them as a rapid fire right now because I answered most of them. So the question was, where did I run my challenge? This time it was free Skool community and daily emails to those who registered. Then they were receiving emails as well. I probably did not do as good of a job with emails as I could have because community was so engaged. I spent most of the time on community and I did not prepare those emails. That is something I definitely can do much better next time. Was it all through email? Now, emails drove story, like I explained, and also more participant for adventure because the 12 days of magic, I was encouraging people. I would say, here is a gift that I will be given today. I did put my story, personal story in there, and they can only get it in Skool community. So they had to join Skool community to do that. And Skool was the experience space that we were doing here. I see the word container here and I missed it because I do not like this word. Okay, but sometimes AI changes my words. What happened with the cart, as I explained already, it has nothing to do with Skool. Skool is beautiful. It's absolutely smooth. It's so, so great. I can't wait till I move everything there. It was just something to do with WordPress and a couple of plugins. And my tech support was able to fix it incredibly quickly. Thank you, Nata. Skool, yeah, it wasn't the Skool issue. It was the funnel tools that failed. And how can that be prevented? Well, I can test it 2-3 times daily, but really I would rather spend time and focus on my community. Things like that could happen. Like I said in one of the posts, launch gods and goddesses like chaos during the launch, and something will go in. There is something that would happen and not going to go according to plan. So I would just prepare for the best. But yes, I can test it before and I can just see. I probably should have been alerted more at the beginning and check if there were any orders were coming through because I can look. And I did not. I just seen that nothing was coming through as a payments, but I did not see if there were any failed orders. And I definitely will be doing that, just making sure that there is no failed orders so I can quickly address that. Next question, how long did it take you to organize? Because it's the third time that I'm running it in a very similar way. And one thing I forgot to mention, and there's so many things I cannot fit. We're already over an hour here. but I run it very specifically, not only the prizes, but also I have a gamification there. I did not use leaderboards, but what I do, I create puzzles for people to go and find keys, and it's very interactive. So there is a lot of things that going on there. But because I already run this type of adventure exact same way with a few changes, minor changes, I had all of the assets, I had all of the copy, and it was so much easier for me. I did not need to create and design anything. Plus, I love designing, and it's not, I can design something on the fly very, very quickly. Was it all through email? As I said, email drove the story, and fun adventure finished. School was the experience space, and storytelling was a big, big portion of not only pre launch, but also post adventure when it's finished. All of my sales email, all of my final daily emails, and the final day, I sent 5 emails. I'm very proud of myself that I did, and all of them were story based, and all of them have the characters. My final email was actually not the final, second final email, 3 hours, 3 hours kind of countdown, was with Wednesday Adams. It was very cheeky, and I loved that email, and I will do something similar next time as well. So I include so much incredible play and so much creativity in here, and that would actually give me a lot of energy to run it as well. Now, the biggest question I have, why did you schedule lunch to take place during your vacation? I didn't. I actually had a pre-lunch during vacation, and I already explained that it just happened because my everything was already scheduled, and then Evelyn recommended I did the pre-lunch. So I prepared it before I left, and it only took me an hour a day. It really did not. However, I did schedule vacation or lunch, excuse me, right after vacation, because I wanted to recharge. I wanted to connect with nature, with ocean. I'm an ocean person, I'm a water person, and I needed to get my feet in sand. I live close to the ocean and Pacific Ocean, which is pretty cold in the summer. This summer, I was able to swim there probably 4 times, but not for a very long time. So I wanted to be in the water, and I wanted it to be as a part of my initiation preparation for lunch as well. So I would do it again next time if I could. I would be curious to hear about the lead gen site as in cost of acquisition. To give it feel for it, I used to run challenges on Facebook. I answered that already in a previous slide, so just go through that. Did you run it in a free Skool group and then promote it to paid group? I did run it in a free Skool group and promote it to the paid community, which is off Skool. I know that if my community would be on Skool, we would have even better results. So I haven't done my downsell yet to my smaller mini community. That's coming at the end of next week. Did I use Facebook ads? Absolutely. I am Evelyn's student, and I do run Facebook ads. I showed the results that I'm able to achieve. It's because of what she taught me and because of what I'm experimenting with. So you can go back to the previous slide here. How many people had joined the challenge? As I said, my best goal was 1111. When we started on 29th, we were over 1,000. I don't remember right now how many exactly. When we finished, we were over 1111. Do you have stats around active participants and conversion rates? Yes, conversion rate was 3.2% based on how many members were in adventure, and 4.6 if I'm looking at how many members were active. If membership would be on Skool, I know I would have higher conversion, less friction, right? So, and I would like to know, next question, I would like to know if you track any KPI other than ranking. Yes, churn, LTV, and I'll show a couple of more things here of what I'm planning to track actually. This is originally was Evelyn tracking, which I'm adapting right now. I'm not very good with Excel, but this is what I'm planning to track. I'm planning to track one-time sales, monthly churn, total revenue, total ad spend, members total annual or monthly. I'm planning to track the, of course, the client lifetime value. I am planning to track the ranking. I also planning to rank engagement, people attended live events, and view who viewed the replays. All of that I'm planning to track because I want to see how is it going. So this is a couple of things that I'm planning to track ahead of time. I'm also cannot wait to see tracking that is coming from Skool, because I think that will make my life so much easier. So I don't need to do a lot of manual tracking because it's the least favorite thing that I do. And I would love to track where is the traffic coming from. I know that there is several people they finding me in Skool communities. I actually had the call that somebody reached out to me, not from this adventure, not from the summit, somebody who found me in one of the Skool communities, and we're talking about maybe me designing her whole deck because I do that service as well. Okay. So definitely Skool is incredible. And I don't know why I waited so long to join it and start actually run everything on Skool. So what went well, what I could have done differently, what I would stop doing, what I continue doing, and what I start doing. I kind of went through everything already, what went well, what I could have done differently. And throughout the whole call right now, what I would stop doing, I would love to stop overcomplicating the membership journey. And that is why I want to have everything in one place. It's very difficult. I will stop doing manual stuff when I don't need to do manual stuff. I would love to have a very easy way to track all of my members, to remove all of my members when they stop paying and when they finish what they came to do in my membership. And Skool is what is going to help me to do that. So my insights really show that smoother process would lead to better conversions, but also better results for my members as well. And overcomplicating, it's one thing when we can do engagement and um, a lot of fun during the adventures, but it's another when we keep it too complex for people to find things. One of the things that I'm going to do, I just met somebody on Skool in one of the communities, and she does audit of your existing membership. And I will be, before I move my membership to Skool community, I am going to book this audit for my main membership. So this way, and she has a lot of experience of curriculum based of creating courses and memberships. So I want to make sure when I move my membership on Skool, it's designed the way the best for my clients, the best for my members, so they can get results with less friction. And that's very, very important to me. What am I going to continue to do? Bringing play into everything I do. As you see all of these images, me turning myself into all different characters, bonus points if you can guess which ones are they. That's what I was doing in emails as well. It was so funny. A lot of times I get unsubscribers from those last 10 emails, right? So because you send them in such a short period of time, and 5 in one day. This time I did not. I had some like normal, but this time I actually had emails with replies. Oh my God, I really like, I think this is that witch. And I was asking them who should I be next, and they would be making some recommendations of what is that they want to see me to be. So it was really a lot of fun. So I will continue really leaning into my creativity, leaning into my intuition, following my North Star to make sure that I am actually aligned not only with my values, but also, which are first and foremost, but also align with my creativity, with my connection to source as well. So that is very, very important to me. I'm going to continue to leverage in proven lead generation strategies that work for me, ad strategies that I learned from Evelyn and continue to learn. I'm paying close attention to what she's doing, and she is such a master with that. She runs that for Skool right now, and she's learning on a much bigger scale. And she always brings this knowledge to her members, and I'm forever grateful for that. I'm paying very close attention how she's scaling a lot of things and how she's teaching. I will be continuing doing my proven hybrid method despite a lot of gurus telling me it's not working. It's working for me, and I'll continue doing it until it stops working. I am going, and that means overall challenge structure, engagement tactics that I am using successfully, playfulness, doing different themes for my adventure, also including gamification in the form of different puzzles and initial participation. We are almost at hour and 10 minutes. I'm almost done here. I think I have one slide left. But I also wanted to say something. It's impossible for me to fit everything and tell you how did I run this launch with a schedule and breakdown of what you do every day. However, I do have a course that I teach once a year. I do it live. And I also do it done with you. That means that we're doing like exact structure, and I'm helping you to focus on your energy, to focus on your strategy, to looking at the different pivots, to even bring the community engagement in your community. I will be there, your biggest cheerleader, helping you to hype it up if we need to in a good way. I don't like the word hype, but helping them to to cross that finish line. I do that done with you. So if you're interested, just let me know. I am happy to talk to you about that, and we'll be happy to discuss. And also keep an eye if you want to join my uh, free community, or just keep an eye on a few things, or join my email, and make sure that you keep an eye on when I'm opening that particular program. I'm very multi-passionate, as you can see, and I deliver different things, but I also don't want to overload myself because I want to deliver the best experience for my clients. So I will continue build my community on Skool, hands down, absolutely. What am I going to start doing next time if I run the adventure in a pop-up group? And I don't know if I will or not. I will open the pro plan, and I recommend that you do pro plan and not hobby. Even if you do it for 1 month, $99. Well, you have 14 days. Actually, you have 14 days trial, and then you start paying $99. So you can even run your whole adventure in, well, because of the ads you cannot really, but you pay $99, and it's well worth it when you are structuring it the way to bring more revenue for you, right? So even if you close it after, I don't know if I will be doing pop-up community or just continue doing it in my main community. I haven't decided. I don't know. I will be organizing testimonials much better, and their breakthrough and everything else. Yes, no to myself. I say it every time. And it just there's so much engagement in my adventures that what I will do next time, and I think I should have put that instead, that I'll get my team to organize it for me so I can focus on adventure. So that's a better next time start doing. Really leaning and building strong relationship on Skool, and participate and collaborate more in other people communities. That is my focus going forward for the rest of the Q4 here and 2026. I also will be doing my summit and Skool as well, bringing more people to Skool and becoming true Skool advocate, because this is life changing for me truly, and this could be life changing for you as well. Okay. If you have any more questions, please drop them in comments under this video, wherever you're watching it. If you're watching it on Skool, or if you're watching it on YouTube, wherever that you're watching it, drop it under, and I will be happy to answer any of those questions. I'm an open book. As I said, I couldn't fit everything in this 1 hour and almost 15 minutes right now. I do appreciate if you watch to the end, and I do appreciate if you watched only 5 minutes. Thank you so much. Thank you for all the questions that you've been asking me. And just before we finish, I want to share all of the images, or some of the images that I've done for this adventure, just to share with you how fun it was to run this adventure. So I'm not going to name it. I know that you can guess it. And this is my dog, Minky. She looks almost identical. It's not her picture, but it's my AI clone that who created. And this is some of the videos that you can see. And if you can guess, so here is something for you. If you can guess all these characters, that would be super cool. So here's another one, and it's the same characters but just slightly different, more accurate to the fairy tale. Okay, so this is super cool. And here's some images, and see if you can recognize some of them I talk. Here's my Jen, the good witch. And here is her, the Ursula, and turning into the good witch. And here's me as Maleficent. And this one was very cool, something that I created here. Here's me as Wednesday Addams. And here's me as the evil witch turning into Maleficent. Here is, yeah, I should have not talked. I said for you to guess, but I'm tired of talking for an hour. But this one was actually one of I think this is one of my favorite ones. It does have sound, but it's not right now. And this is my North Star one. And here you go. There is more. Here's another one. And the one that started it all. And here's another one. And I think we already looked at that. That's all. Just wanted to share this fun images with you as well. And thank you again for listening. As I said, it's 1 hour, 16 minutes, and I'll see you on Skool. I'll see you on YouTube. Say hello, introduce yourself. I am looking for incredible connections, and you could be one of them. Bye for now.